Awesome. So before we kick it off again, I was just having a conversation. There was a slide that I didn't add that I meant to add. It's a little bit of a hack, and all of you guys can implement this probably within the next 2 minutes if you really wanted to. I've spoken a lot about building assets and how videos are assets and those kinds of things, and we'll go into obviously how you build the audiences. The reason why I push video so much, both on my clients and when I speak to anybody, is the videos you create, you can target people based on the amount of time they viewed. 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 25 seconds, 25%, 50%, 75%, and 95%. Why that's powerful is context. We know that they know us. We know that they know what we're about and what we've spoken about, and you can select a specific video that they've actually seen. So in a more advanced tactic, you can do, if they've seen this video, send them that one. And the only way that they can see a specific video is because they've seen the first one, and then you can send them another one based on only seeing the second one. And before you know it, you have the context to know that they've seen 5 videos of yours only because they've watched the first one. And the grade of audience down at the very bottom that's watched 4 or 5 specific videos, they can only get to the bottom by watching the first 4, is heaps more valuable. Now, when you're working with an audience more locally, there's a little hack you can do to really accelerate this, even more so than having to spend a couple of bucks on Facebook to test, because we'll go through that. To do it in the cheapest way possible, and I will talk about retargeting and retargeting your assets. But a quick way to build a retargeting audience with no ad spend with anything else, every single one of us has a particular audience that we want to go out to. What we can use is Facebook groups to be able to promote. Now, in the business world, it's not as easy. They tend to shut down videos because they know what happens. But if you're servicing anything of a business audience, any general public audience whatsoever, what you can do is create a video, full value, no call to action, so it doesn't look like you're pitching whatsoever. Simply valuable to the right people. Share it into a community group that you might be on Facebook. So for example, on the Central Coast, there's Central Coast Bag of Bargain, or there's Central Coast alerts or incidents or whatever it might be. Facebook groups. They consist of 50, 60, 80,000 people, all within our area. The only reason they would join that group is if they're from that specific area. What you can do with the video you've created, posting it up on your business page, you go down to the share button, you share that business post into this community group and say, hey, I think you guys would really benefit from this. And as long as the video is valuable, it won't get taken down. But the benefit, and what it does is it builds the video views up from your business page. So if this video starts racking up 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 views, you haven't spent a cent to acquire that, and now that's a hot audience that you can target. You can filter it based on how much percentage they've watched, and then you're able to retarget them because of that percentage, and we're just chatting about it. So let's say, we'll use the air conditioning as an example. A lot of people don't know that they need to service their air conditioner. And so 50%, let's say we make a valuable video around why you would need to get your air conditioner serviced, or some little tips and tricks you can do to save a lot of money. Well, we post that inside a community group because anybody could have an air conditioner, and the video is very specific to help people. These people watch maybe 25 or 50%. It's a couple of minute video of a very easy walkthrough. It's valuable so people want to tag their friends and share it with their friends. They do the hard work for you of spreading it throughout the local area. And anyone who watches the at least 25 or 50%, you have full permission to retarget them as much as you want. And you've got the context and the situation to know that they know your brand, they know your message, and they have some kind of interest in what you do because they've watched the video long enough. So it's a little hack that I want to share with you that, once again, I forgot to add, but that's something you guys can do from the moment you leave here. If you shoot a quick value video, and you know it's valuable to a specific kind of person, go find that specific group. Go find them on Facebook, go join that group, go share it in there and say, hey, just wanted to share this with you guys. I think you'd get a lot of value from it. I think it could be helpful. But make sure that video, you don't upload it in the group. You upload it on your business page first, then you share it from your business page into those groups. If you have any questions about that after, obviously we can chat about it. But like I said, I didn't add that in there, but it's a bit of a hack, and it's the fastest way to get a good audience without needing to spend any money on ads to filter them in or out. Thank you. Share it to a few groups, anywhere that's qualified. Like I said, the only problem or the only thing you need to be careful of is some admins know. So if you have any call to action, if you have any kind of, hey, if you want a free quote or if you want this, they'll be like, I know what you're doing, you're gone. But if there is no call to action whatsoever, most of the time, B2B, it won't work. Everyone knows it. But in a general market sense, yeah, it's a great way to go to the right people at the right time, and then you instantly have 1,000 views, 2,000 views of a hot audience that you already know. And then rather than spending hundreds or thousands of dollars just to build a warm audience, you've already got it for free because you've gone and infiltrated the groups. Yeah? Some don't. You just push the boundaries. If they don't let you, you don't want to be in there anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Well, that's what I mean. So at most, maybe leave the link to your website after. But the thing is, because you're sharing it from your business page, if someone's got a genuine desire and they watch that video go, yep, that's helpful, they're not stupid. They'll make their way to your page or they'll comment on it saying, hey, I need your help. Can I have a quote? They'll do anything. More than ever now, there's stats showing, I think it was like 50, 60 or 70% of people will message a business first before they'll go ahead and do anything with them. They'll message them on Facebook expecting a response. That's why obviously chatbots are powerful, but we're not here to talk about that. All right, first thing I want to talk about when it comes to running ads is KPIs. Now, I saw a few people put their hands up about Excel nerds and stuff, so that gets me excited because I've actually got an Excel sheet I can give you guys. You will need to fill it in your own time because it's dense enough. Like it's not going to scare people who aren't tech savvy, but it's just a good level of density that it's going to spit out the numbers that you need to know. Because at the end of the day, at least online marketing, it's all just a numbers game. You need to know that you can spend $1 and you're going to make $2 back. And there's a few different metrics that we look for when we work with clients or we're running our campaigns that allow us to do that. So yeah, it's just all about knowing and tracking our KPIs is how we can make sure that happens. So if you guys wanted to write down this link, it's going to send you to, I think it's just straight to a Google Forms. Oops, hang on. There we go. You don't need to worry about the HTTP thing. Oh, why does it do that? Hang on. I'll even put it up here while we move on. Now, after the slash, it's case sensitive. Oh, shit. FB dash KP. Yeah, cool. So you can get a photo as well, if that's going to help. But yeah, go there. You'll find it. You need to make a copy of it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You need to make a copy of it because you can't edit it, otherwise everyone's editing over the same file. But you can use that, and it's a way it gives you understanding of what metrics you need to know and what your budgets need to be to achieve whatever goal you want. And this works for anyone. You can change stats a little bit if you're a bit of a data nerd. Like if you're not selling a front-end offer, you might just do a lead to call and then the conversion rate from there. I'll go through in a second. Well, cut out. Oh shit, Steve. Bear with me. Just in the best bit too. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Not sure what's going on. Has anyone got it open? Okay, cool. Unfortunately. Okay. Well, if you guys can open it, that'd be great. If not, hang on, that might have done it. No, it really wants to be sensitive. So, all right, let's go back. So here's what it looks like. It's going back and forth. Yeah. That's a shame. Look, the KPIs that we do look for, okay, so don't move. It's going to look like that. Oh, shit. All part of the plan. It's like it doesn't want that slide. After that, what? Let me go back. It's that slide, it looks like. No, it was just really bad timing, like 3 times in a row. The only reason why I actually want to show you guys this is because once you download it, I can kind of walk you through it all. But in the bits, just keep moving. Oh, no. What we look for, okay, there we go. No, it's not going to happen. Every time I go to that slide, it screws it. we want to look at our entry-level offer price. Obviously, if that's applicable, because we want to know, what we can actually spend to acquire those customers. But then what we want to look at is the average conversion rate from obviously our landing page to our website. The reason we want to know that is how many people hit the page, and out of that, how likely are they to actually turn into a lead of some sort. The reason we want to know that, it's when we reverse engineer our numbers, we can find out how much we can afford to spend to actually make our money back. Okay, that worked. I don't know what you did. It is that, it's literally this. I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. Okay, yeah, we're back. Yeah. Losing it. It's gone. So yeah, what we want to look for is our lead to call ratio. No, we won't do that. It's going to take too long. So when we know that we get a lead, unfortunately, as good as it could be, we're not always going to know, or not every single lead is going to convert. So what we want to know is obviously our lead to call ratio. So out of those leads, how many are we actually going to connect with, and are they actually going to convert? After that, we want to know of the people we actually get on the phone, how many will convert on the sales call, right? So if you get 10 leads and only 8 of them pick up, out of those 8, how many of them turn into a customer? It might be 4. Right? And then we just work down our numbers so we can work out the rates that we need. And then we also factor in our lifetime value of a customer. Still no luck with the slides. It's not going to work without a visuals. Let me do this. I'll quickly just try and walk through. All right. So if I was to use an example of like a gym, it's not doing anything. Oh, wait, it worked on one side. Yeah, okay, we're back. All right, I don't know what you did. Let's just say there's Old Mate John's gym, right? He's got an entry offer of $50. On the landing page, he'll convert around 10% of the people that land on that page for that offer. Around 75% of the people who actually leave their details become a lead. But when he gets them on, every single one of them, you lost it, is going to convert to a customer, or will pay him $50 for that offer. Okay? And he knows that the lifetime value of his customer is around $1,200. Now, what's important to note here and what we look for isn't that they're going to be worth $1,200. That's good to know. But what we're actually trying to work out is, of those leads, what can we actually spend on a lead to make sure he's not spending a cent on his marketing? You had it, then you lost it. Oh, it's back. So down the bottom, based on numbers, we can see that he can spend $37.50 to acquire one lead and not actually be a cent out of pocket. It costs him around $37.50 to actually convert someone. Not having any luck? No, so when we want to look at lifetime value, so that's for like an entry-level offer, because that helps us understand, obviously, how can we get these leads for free for an entry-level offer. When it comes to a bigger end offer, like what's the lowest price of your products? Yes. Okay. Okay, cool. Yep. Yep. That's cool. So let's say it's $580. The lifetime value is $580, or that's the entry? Okay, that's cool. That worked. Yes. Yep. So the lifetime value is factored in if you've got a longer end business or a longer ended funnel, because we want to know, okay, what do we want to achieve? Like, what's our minimum ROI? We want at least a 2-to-1, usually around a 3-to-1. But entry offers aside, we knew that John's Gym, we can get anywhere from spend up to around $400 if we wanted to get a 3-to-1 return on investment, right? Let's say that, or usually we go a little bit deeper. I just ran out of room on the page, but after they become a customer, we know we can spend $37.50 just to get an entry offer, right? And we get that for free. Other people's money pays for that for us. From there, we then run our numbers and say, how many people do we need for one person to sign on after to be worth $1,200? Because not everyone will. So we can say 1 in 3, right? So we know we need to spend about $100 or so to get the 3 leads in as customers to the challenge. And of that, we know that we average out at least 1. All of that's on that spreadsheet when you go through it as well. It's just not up on this form. Should I test and see if I can get that spreadsheet back up? Oh, that is. Yeah, it doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. I'm not going back there ever again. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. It's like the casino. You say you're never going to go back, and then you're just tempted. But so if you want to see it, I'll show you after. How about that? But once again, you got the link, so you can download it yourself. I have no idea why that's happening. But yeah, so when you factor in the lifetime value, you just want to know what your expectations are, what your goals are. In that form, you're going to see is actual projections that you can look at, right? Of if I want to make 50 grand that year, which isn't much, but let's say your goal was that you just wanted to make 50, and your average lifetime value is around $1,200. You know that would work out to be around 41 or 42 customers, 41 and a bit customers, right, to make that 50 grand. So you know that you only need to get 40 odd customers, and you know that 1 in 3 of your leads that you generate become a lifetime customer. That would be worth $1,200. So you know that you need to get X amount of leads, 3x that, because 1 in 3 will turn into lifetime value of customers. It'll spit the numbers out. It's a done-for-you equation. It tells you what you need to fill in. Once you go through it, you'll kind of understand it. It's just hard to talk numbers without actually having a demonstration. We're just running out of time. Oh, hang on. Now my clicker's failing. This is awesome. When you know your numbers, I want to say it's impossible to fail because you know how to turn things off, or you know that it's just not working, so you're going to fix it. But at the worst case scenario, it's almost impossible to fail because you know what is acceptable and what isn't. And I find that when a lot of people come to me for help and I say, well, tell me about your numbers, a lot of the time they don't know. And so it's powerful to know because then you know what is acceptable and isn't acceptable in, it's the actual receiver. Let me try and get that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, when you don't know, you're pretty much blindfolded. Your campaigns, you're just spending money, you don't know if it's worthwhile. You might spend $1,000 and say, cool, did I make money on this? And if you don't know, that's a problem. You need to know how much you're spending and how much you intend to make back and what your metrics need to look like for that to happen. The beauty of online marketing is you can track that down to the cent. Okay, you know what you need to look for, you know what you need, you know what your clicks can be worth based on your conversion rates when you really want to geek out on it. I just don't want to do that to you here. So the way that we track performance, for some reason that doesn't want to work. The way we track performance is with a thing called the Facebook Pixel. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about that now. There we go. It's really just sensitive. Maybe I need to be close. No. Okay. We use a thing called the Facebook Pixel. When we use that, it tracks all the activity on the pages. It tracks when someone's on the website, when someone becomes a lead, when someone becomes a customer. Unfortunately, we can't show you, but what it does, we put the pixel in certain places that tells us when they land on a specific page, so a thank you page or anything like that. We know that they're a lead or a registration of some sort, or maybe a purchase, for your example. How many of you are familiar with the Facebook Pixel and what it can do? A lot of you guys? Do you all have it installed on your website, landing pages, sales pages? Yeah? No? Okay, probably half. Another thing that it can do, and without, once again, going too techie or nerdy, that worked. Whatever you did. And we're going to lose it? Yeah? No, it's still there. What it can also do that a lot of people don't realize, it tracks, but it also optimizes and learns. So for every person that visits your site or becomes a lead, it starts to learn that they have similar attributes to these other leads. And as you feed it more and more and more, it's called maturing the pixel, but as you feed it more and more and more leads, more customers, more purchases, more registrations, whatever it might be, then the pixel starts learning, hey, John Doe has an interest in all of these different features or likes all these pages, and so does Mary Jane. And so they share a lot in common. And so let's try and see if this third person, I can't think of a name, Steve, was to also share the same attributes. Let's see if he wants it too. And then he does. And so it starts to learn and think, okay, they've got a lot, like now that they've got stuff in common, I want more people to look like this. And as you feed it more and more data, more and more people, more leads, more customers, those kinds of things, it keeps learning and gets better and better. So if you don't have a pixel yet on your site or landing pages or whatever, I'd advise that's what you need to do, like as soon as possible. Yes. Every single page. Spot on. So what you want to do is, depending on obviously what you sell, some people just need leads, some people need customers, those kinds of things. But depending on what you sell will depend on what you will register it as. There's little things called events, and you will put this little piece of code into a header of your site, or you can send it to a developer or hire someone from Upwork that's relatively cheap, and they'll do it all for you. You just say, hey, the page is this. Okay. Okay, so this is where we can just track that we're actually getting leads. The power of it is next to it. So you can see the leads that we've gotten, obviously 93 leads. This is one of our clients in the last 30 days. The cost per leads, we can watch. We can afford, based on his numbers, to literally spend around $38 on a lead and still not spend a cent on our ads. So here, the fact that we're like a third cheaper, he's making a 3-to-1 return on the front end and then also the back end. So when you know your numbers, you know whether you're making money or losing money. And if you're losing money, it's fine because you're still going to know the back end. Steve, is this going to blow up if I go back to that other slide? Let's see. Swear to God. Okay, this is the elusive report that you weren't able to see. So what you can see, you got an offer name, offer price, conversion rate, and this will auto-populate. So where it's yellow, some of those will turn green or red based on numbers. If you don't know what those numbers are yet, do the base minimum. So lead to call ratio, average is 50 to 70. This is across what we know. If you don't know, just say 50. If you don't know what your conversion rate of your landing page is, do 8. If you don't know what the close rate from the calls are, just do 70. But these are the things that you actually need to know if you're ever going to run a successful campaign. If you don't know your numbers, you're going in blind. To find the lifetime value, I do it in a very simplistic way, not as complex as some people. What I do is I look at revenue generated over the last 12 months and the number of sales. What it does, it's going to calculate and spit it out for you down the bottom, saying the lifetime value. Yeah? So if you have made $100,000, you had 100 customers, they're worth $1,000 each. Right? Really, really simple. Then it's going to spit that out, and it's going to just give you the metrics down the bottom here where it's got this div stuff. It's going to auto-populate for you and give you all your numbers. On the right-hand side, it's also got annual projections that you can make, but down the bottom, it gives you your KPIs. So it'll actually tell you what you want to achieve. All you need to tell it is your monthly revenue goal based on lifetime value. So let's say if your customer is worth $1,000 to you, and you want to make 20 grand in a month, it's not going to base it off your offer being worth $50. It's going to be basing it off the fact that they're worth $1,000 to you and what that's going to equate to. So it's not 100% accurate because not 100% of people are going to become a lifetime customer, but it's enough for you guys to have ballpark indications to test against. Okay? And then obviously the monthly marketing budget. Then down the bottom, you're going to look at the return on investment, the monthly sales needed, the number of sales calls needed, the number of leads needed, and the maximum cost per lead, and even the number of page visits and the cost per outbound click. All of these things can be tracked and measured by the Facebook Pixel, right? Which is why I obviously went into it next. So when you get the sheet, when you download it and fill it in, it'll give you all these figures, which you can obviously work on. So we look at obviously the price, the conversion rate, all those things. So we'll just skip forward just to get through it. Absolutely. So we use a thing called events. Like I said, there's different event pixels. There's purchase, leads, register event, or complete registration, add to cart, initiate checkout, all these different events. And every single person will belong in different buckets. So those who become leads, the way it works is this pixel, the data that it collects, when someone becomes a lead, this is a challenge that we're running for a gym. When someone joins that challenge, they say, yep, I want to join, I want to change my life, I want to get fitter, I want to join this challenge. Here's my name, number, and email address, but we tell Facebook that that's a lead. Facebook takes that information and takes the information from the millions of others that are now running ads that gets leads or gets sales and pulls that information. So now John Doe that's become a lead over here, he's now flagged in Facebook saying he is more likely to become a lead than a purchase because of his actions. So every time that you opt in for something, that someone has the pixel on that site, you're going to be put in a category of a certain activity. And so when it comes to targeting, you say that you want leads. If you're selling physical products, you don't want leads. You never optimize for leads. You go for purchase. Yeah, you can optimize for add to carts and different things, but against the tests I've done, it doesn't convert any better. You either want to convert for purchases if that's your goal, or leads. So what else does it do? Like I said, tracking, optimizing, and learning. If you have any questions about that, you can obviously reach out to me. If you want to find it, this is your ads manager or business manager. It's going to look a little bit like this when you open the tabs, and you'll find it in just under here where it says pixels. Right? You can find it in there. If you want to walk through and you want to know how to install it yourself, this is my email, or you can add me on Facebook, and I can send you across the training I've done to install it onto your website. You can either take a photo of the screen or something if you want to get that. It'll just make life a lot easier. It's just, we won't have time to go through it and it'll probably go over your heads. You need to watch it a few times. Just let me know when you're good to move on. I'm going to have a quick drink. Yep. So there's two ways you can get into the Business Manager. And I think I've got that here. Oh no, I got rid of it. You can go to business.facebook.com. And that's how I access everything. What you can also do, if you're on the home page, you log on to Facebook and there's your newsfeed. In the bottom left-hand corner, so it'll be this way for you guys, in the bottom left-hand corner, you've got a couple of different hyperlinks, and there's one that's going to say ads. So when you click on that, then it's going to open up your Business Manager for you, and from there, you'll find this little navigation bar in the top left-hand corner with 3 lines, and those 3 lines is what will open up and show you how to access your Pixel. Once again, the video that I can send, you guys will have all that information. It'll show you how to do it. So over a nutshell, this is the total equation of when you run ads, of marketing. You find an idea, you test the idea by creating ads, you get results, leads, or feedback. And by feedback, it could be no one bought, no one was a lead, didn't work, people say this ad's shit, why am I seeing this? It's all feedback. Or like I said, you get some results. From that, we get new ideas. Once we get new ideas, then we test the idea. By creating ads, then we get it. We either get feedback, we get leads, results, or we go, okay, we need to test something new. But if it works, you keep going. You keep it going, and then you can test new things as well. The way I like to do it, and this is something our agency does to be able to both preserve audiences, things burn out. What's working now might not work in the future. The offer, the message, the market, whatever. So what you want to do is by testing, you create a bank of things that are working. So when you reach audience saturation, you don't have to test again then and lose money or stop seeing results. You might have a bank of 10 things you've tested that have worked, whether it's ad copy, ad creative, the type of offer, the type of video, whatever it might be. You've tested it and you've kept it in your creative bank, make an Excel sheet, put it in notes, do whatever. But once you know what works, only run one at a time and scale one, especially if you're in a local area. Otherwise, you'll reach audience burnout and saturation pretty quickly. Now, I want to talk about something now that no one talks about, and I don't think people are very aware of it. And it's good and bad. This is how your market is going to respond to your ads. Whenever I work with a new client, the habits are all the same, and I learned this in science actually, of how people respond, I think. You got your innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and your laggards. I'm sure you guys have all probably heard of this. The innovators are the people who will just act straight away. Yep, seems good, straight into it. When you run a new ad, Facebook has a pretty good idea of who those people will be. They jump in. Your early adopters take a little bit more. Maybe they need to see one more ad. Maybe they need to be retargeted. They fall there. The early majority, this is where your mass audience will fit into here. And by being consistent, this is what those people all start to convert around the same time. What we see with our clients' campaigns, it'll come up, then it comes down and it starts to slow down. It comes back up and then it'll level. And that takes around 2 weeks or so. Don't ask me why. It happens every single time, no matter who we work with, no matter what area. After a while, you will comfortably own a piece of their newsfeed, and that's how I call it. Because you're in a local area, there's only so many people you can service, and obviously if you're looking for leads or whatever, they all fit into a certain category. And when that happens, they're going to be the same people that see it a few times, and you're going to own a piece, whether it's the same ad or a different video or a different post or whatever it might be, or an image. They're going to get used to seeing your name, and so they're going to be more accepting of you. It just takes time. So a lot of people who say, ads don't work, it was shit, you've actually got to persevere if you want to get through to the masses and become a brand that they recognize. There's a few different businesses that I can now recite off the top of my head because I'm advertised to by them all the time, but with always a different message, but they are top of mind for me. And you guys can have the exact same effort, but it's about hitting them multiple times, not with the same message, but in multiple ways, and then you'll own a piece of their news feed. And especially with real estate agents, you can easily become the celebrity in your space and recognized if you do it the right way. Not just come get a listing or anything like that, but actually being valuable. And that goes for any business. By being valuable, people recognize you as that. They'll stop you in the street and say, I feel like I know you from somewhere. Or they'll say, hey, I've seen your ads. Hey, I've seen this and I see you everywhere. Good. That's the impression that you want. But you don't want them to say, I see you everywhere and you're really annoying. That can happen. But that's where you obviously want to keep things fresh and keep up the variety. So this is the overall campaign structure, and by all means take a photo of this. Like I said, I'm going to send you the slides. But what you're going to see is, starts with a campaign. Your campaign is what you say to Facebook you want to do. It might be, and I'll show you what it looks like as well, but you start with a campaign, then you have things called ad sets, then you have your ads. and then you can do a couple of different things with that. So to keep this really, really simple, your ad set is where you do your targeting. You say, I want to target women aged 30 to 45 on the Central Coast, and that's it. Or you can go into interests and those kinds of things. Your ads is where you will actually create the ads, the images, the message, those kinds of things. And then down here is what I put is just 2 different variations, because that's where you start doing different tests. Okay. Setting up the ads, you can head to obviously business.facebook, or this link down here also works. Facebook.com/ads/manager. Okay, launching your first ad campaign, let's power through this. You have different campaign choices. Do me a favor and disregard awareness altogether. Yeah, that can come as a byproduct of any of these. So you do not need to worry about that, especially if we don't have huge amounts of budgets to work with. When it comes to consideration, a few good ones that you can run, they all do something different. And this is obviously where at the very beginning you have campaigns. They do something different. This is where Facebook tracks people's activity and you tell Facebook the kind of people you want. Do you want people to comment on your post? Do engagement. You want people to click on something and go somewhere? You do traffic. You want people to watch your video more? Do video views. You want people to leave their details on one of those lead forms that auto-populates with their information? Don't do that at the very beginning because you get really bad leads. You can do it, but the lead's pretty bad. You do lead gen. You can do messages as well, and it sends people straight to Messenger, which isn't a terrible option if you just want to build the conversation with people. And then you got conversions. Now, for 9 out of 10 times, I will go to conversions. It's a little bit more expensive to reach those people, but their intent is much higher because they've done something for Facebook to recognize them as a potential lead, a better lead, or a buyer, or whatever it might be, based on obviously what you're looking to achieve. In here, obviously, you get the option to select the conversion event, and that's where I said it's like lead, add to cart, initiate, checkout, those different kinds of things. Won't go into too much depth there. Choose conversion goal wisely. We just went through that. Audience targeting, so let me just touch on this really quickly. This is where you can choose locations. You can drop a pin and hone in really quickly on this. You can both include and exclude. With this client, this is a pre-existing campaign that we actually had. We don't use interest targeting. Okay, this is a gym. We do not use interest targeting. The reason we don't use interest targeting is because our copy qualifies people in or out. And that's what you should do from a local level. That's your main focus, is to qualify them in or out based on your copy without targeting unless it's really required, and we'll go into that a little bit later. But we can see with audiences, so you've got custom audiences or lookalike audiences. We don't have time to go into lookalikes and customs today too heavily. But what you'll see, one thing to note is, exclude people you don't want in or the area you don't want. Or if you've got 2 businesses in similar locations, you don't want that overlap, so you want to exclude them. But once again, know your ages, know your demographic, and know who responds to it best. Okay? Some people will tell you you should have 5 years between them, so a 30 to 35 bracket or a 30 to 40. I would say find something that gives you an audience size of somewhere between 25,000 to 100,000. That would be most optimal. So if you're going to go for 30 to 35, but you don't have much of an audience to work with, I would suggest try and stretch it a little bit more so that there's enough people to go out to. It's not going to cost you a fortune. But you can still have enough people to reach. Now, over here, you're going to see that we can actually exclude people. So if these people become a lead, we don't want them to see our ads anymore because they've already given us what we want. We don't want to spend any more money to acquire them because we've already done it. And that goes for everybody. And then obviously, if they've viewed our website, we can cut them out as well. Different placements you can choose from. I wanted to add this in here. There's so much you can do with Facebook, so much you can do with Instagram. You can now do it on Messenger and a thing they call Audience Network. If you're going to run a local campaign, and let's say you start with a video at the very beginning, you want to only focus on feeds, instant articles, not in-stream, suggested videos where you can. That won't work on conversions. It'll only work on a video view audience. I don't want to go too deep. And I would say cut Instagram. Instagram is good when they already know, like, and trust you, because then you're just hitting them on multiple platforms. But at the very beginning, for 9 businesses out of 10, I will tell them cut Instagram or do it on its own. Don't do both, because the platforms are a little bit different. In terms of targeting, really quickly, 9 times out of 10, target through ages, not interests. The 1 out of 10 times, at the very bottom you'll see, unless it's super specific niche audience like brides-to-be or parents or anything like that, but even then with parents, you can still target people based on ages. That's how I would target people. That's how I target people. And then we let our copy do the filtering. If it's under 100,000, like once again, through ages, not interest. Gone through the targeting, that's fine, let's keep moving. So the creative. So the Facebook creatives, you can do a bunch of different things. You have things called carousels, image, single video, slideshow. I'm not going to bore you with it. Long story short, I would say do the two that are highlighted, single image or video. You can do carousel, that works quite well, but only after they've already engaged with your brand, unless you're selling e-commerce. It can also work in different times. It's all worth testing though. Whether you're doing a video or image, you need to know that you can't use too much text on the actual image itself. You'll end up getting penalized. It will cost you a fortune just to reach the market. The creative, if it's going to be a video, like I said at the very beginning, you're just getting to know people, keep it 1 to 3 minutes. These people don't know you and don't owe you their time. Therefore, you need to keep it really short and sweet so that then they're more qualified to watch a longer video after. Images, just make it of your business or of the desired result that your clients want or potential clients want. When it comes to writing your ads, we're not going to have time to go through it practically. 2 frameworks that we tend to come back to time and time again when it comes to more local guys. PAS, P-A-S, problem, agitate, solve, and then AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. Now, one thing to note here, and a lot of people get this wrong, always add a link in your ad copy to your landing page or your website. We're not going to write someone's ads. Okay, we can go through it here really quickly. So the first thing we want to do is obviously identify the stage of awareness they're at. Yeah, we've gone through the 4 stages: the problem, unaware, problem-aware, solution, and product. And then what we want to do is tailor the copy based on that and based on what it is that we're actually offering. So the problem, we want to first of all talk about the problem. If we're going to be looking at, once again, we'll go with the fitness industry. You have to be really careful with the health industry because you get shut down, or not shut down, but denied your ads for a lot of different reasons. You talk about the current problem they're going through, right? It might be, are you feeling lethargic? You want to be more energetic, and then agitate. Do your kids will always want to play with you, but for whatever reason, you just can't get up, you're really tired, and you just couldn't be bothered, or you don't have the energy to do it by the end of the day? Well, the truth is, it's probably because you're not living the right lifestyle. There is a solution out of that. Our challenge is designed to have people feeling more energetic, more fit, more healthy in 28 days or less, and it's tailored for people just like you. Here's a link, come join our challenge. That is a very direct response kind of ad. You address the problem, you make it sound even worse, so you really hit them in the emotion where they feel like you get them, and then you solve it. When you come to AIDA, the attention, this is where you might call them out. I tend to use a little bit of emoji and then the location. So I might be location, let's just say Central Coast. I might use a bit of emoji and say Central Coast guys, because they'll listen to that. You see an ad, it's like Central Coast guys. Oh, that's me. Interest, how would you like XYZ? Right? XYZ is results. What result do they want? What's something that's super desirable for them that they actually are attracted to and they would want? And it's desire. Inside this, let's just say it's a challenge. How would you like to get fitter, stronger, and healthier and shredded for summer in 28 days or less? That's interest and desire, but desire further is like inside the challenge, you're going to get unlimited workouts, free training program, customized nutrition plan, and full access to the gym, and guaranteed weight loss or your money back. Something like that. Guaranteed results or your money back. Here's a link, come join the challenge. Not for everyone, limited spots. Something like that. Really, really quick, really easy. That's how you would do it. You follow the same kind of process, even if you're trying to educate people. If it's just a value video, you follow a very similar framework. Landing pages, we're going to quickly touch on. I'm not going to go too deep into this because, once again, we don't really have that much time. But why landing pages are not websites? Who knows the difference between a landing page and a website? Everyone? No? Yes? Awesome. For those that don't, a landing page you use, it's offer-centric, there's no distractions, it's goal-orientated. Anyone can make one, you don't need a designer, and it's really, really quick. You can whip something up pretty easy. The general rule of thumb, though, is the bigger the risk, whether you're asking for money, name, number, email, address, how old they are, where they grew up, what was their mother's maiden name, all those things, you need to build the relationship longer, and the landing page itself needs to be a bit longer. I would just say never ask for that information. Do it on page 2. That way you've got their details, and if they fall off at the next step, you can then just call them up and say, hey, I didn't get all your details, you want to just go through that now? Yeah, it's just a good way to catch them. Go for the minimum viable details that you can do. So for some people, it's name, email, or just email. It might be name, number, email, so you can actually call them. They need to know what's being offered within 3 seconds, and it's got to sound as simple as possible. I call this the toddler test. If I was to put a landing page in front of a toddler, would they understand what they're on the page for? Because a lot of the time, I see people that have the most ridiculous headlines for the landing pages, and it's not their fault, but it could 100% be improved. Keep it really, really simple. Let them know, like 28-day shred challenge, 28-day whatever. Like if it's a challenge, maybe not for you guys, but that's how we do it. Keep it really, really simple, and I'll give you an example soon. And don't ask for too much info, like I said, main focus, name, number, email, and make sure you've checked the mobile side of things and it looks good, because now it's more like 90% of your traffic will all be from mobile. And most of the time when it comes to advertising, we'll just run mobile traffic anyway. We use a platform called Instapage. Now, I'm going to assume that at least half of this room has been attracted into the ClickFunnels cult, or at least heard of it, or had someone try to pitch it to them. If not, great, run for the hills. It's an all right platform, but if you're running any kind of a service-based business that deals with leads, it's not for you. It's for products, and when people want to sell products or digital products with upsells and downsells. It's not designed for lead gen, however, it's being promoted heavily for it. And I've tested against it. I've had a page on ClickFunnels, then gone to Instapage. We doubled our conversion rates. And that's why I say that. So, load time, the way it looks, the feel, number of different factors. It was pretty similar, except we could move things that little bit that we needed to without needing to go into code and do a little bit of whatever else. You can customize a few more things, and it's more user-friendly. It's just easier, but load time's the biggest thing. On average, well, ClickFunnels comes down all the time now, but besides that, first of all, if you want to get a free 14-day trial, you can go there. When you do it, on the page, if you visit that page and check it out, you can take a photo. What you're going to see is you can send me an email when you've done it and you want to get templates. I've got templates for you that I've actually designed for the purpose of this event that we're going to miss out on, where you only need to fill in the blanks. There's text, there's whatever. You just need to fill in the blanks to put your stuff there, and everything else will be done for you. Okay, here's some of the templates so you can see. So high ticket, value videos and different things you add, and literally you just fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks there. Continued, so we'll keep going. Oops. Different templates again. So if you're running an offer, there's another one, so you'll have both. Here's an example. So this is one of our clients, and Brandon, if you watch this on any kind of a replay, this is for you. But this is the opt-in page. Now, we've been running, just so you guys can understand, we've been running this same offer, not the exact same page, because you do need to change it after time. We've been running this exact same offer for 18 months. After today, we've now generated over 1,000 leads for this guy's business in 18 months, and we had about a 3-month off period. We've been able to do it with the same offer, with the relatively same message to the same people, because of different ways we've been able to advertise it, but it's timeless, because people come in and out of their need. So that's the opt-in page and how it looks. Obviously, it goes down a little bit further. This is the thank you page. So we've got the number on the page, a video letting them know what happens next. The goal here is to strike while the iron's hot. Your thank you page is not designed to just say, it'll arrive in your inbox, see you later. Here is we're asking for them to take an action so we can lock them in then and there. What we do is we tell them, call our number or text us. In this instance, we're saying, call us now to secure your spot, because it's not held until you do so. For other guys, a tip that you can use here, something as simple as, if you're one of the first 5 people to call and reference this code, to put a code on there, or text us now and reference this code, you're going to get an extra $50 off or $50 worth of something if you offer a service. So strike while the iron's hot is probably the biggest advantage I can give you there. So on that page, just so you know some actual numbers, 17% of the people are claiming the offer, 80% of the people are coming in for the offer, leads coming in at around $5 to $10, and like I said, it's an 18-month offer and it's still working. We haven't had to reinvent the wheel or change too much. So when you get this right, and you put everything else into sequence, it works like crazy. Like I said, 80% of people come in, cost them around $5 to $10. It's a $50 offer. He's making around 3 to 1 on this. So this is just today, August 30. So he's in America, so it's probably just ticked over now. But that was today. He's gotten 5 leads for $8. So it's not slowing down. Like I said, 4 people pay $50. We spent $40. He's going to get $200 back. Okay, and that's a daily thing. So we're going to run out of time. I'm going to have to share some links with you. If there's one thing that I can share before we finish up, it's just a little bit about retargeting and some of the lowest hanging fruit. I shared with you about the group thing, which I didn't put in here. That's probably a massive one to build a retargeting audience really quickly. But your lowest hanging fruit are the ones who have had some form of interaction, engagement, with your business, and they're going to be familiar with your brand. The best way to do this, if your pixel's already installed, you've got this by website visitors. You can go and create those audiences. Ones that people don't know: page engagers, page likers, Instagram engagers, video viewers, and pre-existing customer lists. So just because someone's bought from you before does not mean they don't need to see another ad from you. They just need a specific offer. You don't need to educate them. You don't need to win them over. They've already been won. If there's something else you can sell them and move them up that value ladder that I showed you earlier, then that's how you're going to start making much more money. On average, we're going to get around 30 to 40% extra leads just by retargeting the people who didn't take the action straight away. So it's super, super important to be able to do this. Your website visitors are your best ones, whether they visit your landing page or your website itself. So if you're going to start anywhere and you've already got the pixel installed, that's where I'd start. Otherwise, go with page engagers and everything else. Is anyone running Google Ads here or any powerful SEO that's working? Yeah? Awesome, awesome. So when you put these two together, it just knocks it out of the park. You've got people that are coming to you from Google Ads, and then your Facebook ads retargeting those people. Now, most of the time with Google Ads, people shop around, or they'll just forget, but they'll click on the first ad they see because it's convenient. The reason this works so well is because when they come from Google, they're not just seeing an ad and they're curious, they're searching for it and it's intent-based. So when you combine it, someone's searching for what you've got, and then you're reminding them of what they actually wanted, the intent's far higher. You don't have to force anything. It doesn't work for everyone, but when you get it right and you're in the right business, it does. We're probably going to run out of time to go through everything else. What I will do, let me go back here. If you want to send me an email or add me on Facebook, where can I find it? Oh, no, that's not going to find it. I don't know. Let me find it, but what you can do is either add me on Facebook or send me an email. I can send you through all the slides so you can go through it. Towards the end, what I was going to show you is a couple of different funnels that we actually use, a couple of different processes, and so that was enough of a walkthrough as well, where you will actually see how to implement it. I'll probably put together like a 5-10 minute video for you guys as well of the rest of the slides, because that's where it was kind of just tying it all together. So yeah, by all means, take a photo of the screen. Either adding me on Facebook is probably easier, but you can send me an email as well, just saying, hey, I'd love to be able to get the slides, and we can go from there. Either take a photo or, yeah.
Guys, what about a big round of applause for Tyler Garner? Thank you, Tyler.